Hey, we're here in Beaufort and we've been here for a week almost. We came last Saturday, today's Thursday, and we leave tomorrow. We're going to go on to Oriental, North Carolina. But here's what has happened in the meantime. If you remember, there was one video that we went to a place called Darien to try to find a spot for Bob to haul out because he had some boat problems. Well, that Darien didn't work out quite so well. So he hauled out in a place called Brunswick. He was able to sort of patch up the repairs on his own. So on we went, and then eventually we ended up in Southport, which was only a week and a half ago. Now Brunswick was more than 6 weeks ago. So a week and a half ago we were in Southport. We were going to leave Southport and start heading north again. And Bob went to check his engine, as we should, right before we leave, or even when we get to where we're going. And he found water down in the bilges and that he had a leak again. So he was able to find somebody to tool this one piece of equipment, and he was able to fix it. And so we left 2 days later. And now we're in Beaufort. Well, coming into Beaufort, Bob and Sarah had a little trouble. A sandbar jumped up and got them. And so now they were stuck on this sandbar and stuck for like 20 minutes and really running these engines to try to get off the sandbar. Well, the port side engine stopped working. He had no steering there, and he only had his starboard side. So he was able to limp into the dock where there were four of us, Betty, Ron, and I, and the dock master. Or for you, Lawrence J., deck master, deck dock. And the dock master. So we were all able to get the boat into the dock. And it turns out that he was really taking on water and had to get a couple pumps going, and was able to catch up with the water and stay ahead of it. But now we had to not find another place to haul out. And so Bob did that, and he found a great place called Jarrett Bay, and it's this huge property. And on this property are all these buildings that people have businesses where they work on boats for, say, canvas, sail, engines, transmissions, all bottoms, shafts, propellers. So a fantastic place. He found a guy that would take care of his issue, and so 2 days ago, the towboat US came and towed him to Jarrett Bay. Unfortunately, what that means is, and now there are only two boats, Bob and Sarah had to pull out the boat, and then they just left today to fly home. They will be gone for 7 weeks. So we're going to miss them because we're going to have to go on our own. But things happen as you go along the loop. People often end up having to go home. Bob and Sarah were going to go home anyway on July 15th for their daughter's wedding. So this is just a couple days early, and they found a great place to get their boat fixed. That's wonderful. I did not tell you about other life events that are happening along the way, and Betty was in the hospital. So that was back in Georgetown, 2 stops after Charleston. She had a lot of nausea and vomiting and was 2 nights in the hospital. Did well, no diagnosis, she's fine. And then Ron had to have Mohs surgery. He has skin cancer, so they cut out the skin around it until the margins are clear. So that's what Mohs surgery is. So he went and had that. We were up in Georgetown. We had our friend Bill, good old Bill. He drove up, picked up Ron, drove him to Charleston where he had the surgery, brought him back. Then Bill sailed with me for another, I don't know, week, 10 days. He was here for quite a while. It was great. So, and I have ailing parents. My sister has gone out there twice to California since I've been on this trip to help. And at any time, it could happen that I too have to park the boat somewhere and get on a plane or drive across country with my kitty cat. And then there's Tropical Storm Elsa, which we have an Elsa here who's over sleeping on the chair. Can't hear me, but let's see if we can get, there's Elphaba. Hi now. If I touch her, I'll surprise her. Oh. Yep, talking about you. Anyway, that's what's happening. I'm going to add a couple pictures from our events since I last videoed. Bob
well, that was my
and
problem.
Sarah.
I missed the guy's sign here. I was out too far that way and I didn't see the sign, so I didn't make the turn. Okay. All right, John. What are you taking this for? This isn't something you want to remember. That's no fun.
Bye, Bob and Sarah. Here's a picture of Bob and Sarah's boat hauled out at Jarrett Bay. Let's take a look underneath. Here's the starboard side. You see the shaft and the propeller are a good distance from the rudder. Now let's take a look over at the port side. That's the problem. Here you see the shaft and propeller against the rudder. So the propeller has to be retooled, the shaft pulled back in, and the rudder has been bent. Bob and Sarah, we're going to miss you while you're away. And we're going to keep chugging up the Chesapeake. So when you come back, hurry, try to catch us if you can. Here we are, sunset in Oriental. And this is a beautiful drawing of sweets made by a dear friend, Linda Barretto. Thank you, Linda.